Hello, everyone. This is the 22nd and 24th President of the United States, Pete Weber, here to tell you that this program is brought to you by punching a hole in the wall. Just do it. Hey, you can follow Ryan O'Connor at Wrangleshank on Instagram and Twitter. And if you like his work on the Bonehead comic, you can also watch his Bonehead cartoon. The link to these things and more can be found in the description. Furthermore, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to all things Wrangleshank and all things Ink the Book. Thank you.
It's time for Ink the Book Show with your host, Ryan O'Connor. And now, let's ink the book. Hello, lovelies! It's me, Ryan O'Connor, here to ink a new page. We're past the page 190 series, which was page 190, 190.1, 190.2, 190.3, etc. We finally made it past all the page 190s onto page 191, because all those pages were added after the fact. So that scene with the snake is over. Now we have this 9-panel page. That should be fun. Where's my brush? I think this is the brush I've been using. I hope it is. Yeah, it is. I've got two other kind of crummy used up brushes that were sitting right next to it. Let's get in nice and... I don't know what is focused. Okay, that looks better. I just kind of want to get this angle on it so my left hand doesn't cover up the art. Hopefully. There we are. So here's Mr. Shivers, Bonehead's boss. We have Boris, the Rhino security guard, and Billy TV, the boy from space. As evidenced by his round, glassy eyes and the antenna coming off of his baseball cap. Okay, today is my mom's birthday. She is 59 years old today. I'm sure she appreciates me announcing that to the whole wide world. But we all knew she was at least over 34 years old by some substantial number. I don't think this brush feels very weak. I'm wondering if it is the brush that I've been using. It has to be. Hey, it's my best friend in the whole wide world. How'd he do? I don't even know what that is. Oh, it's a heart with a dot under it? You're mental. But I love you anyway. What are you up to? You said you don't know why it has a dot. Art. Fair enough. Let the critics figure it out. I'm gonna get the whole Amin family on here this week. Not Amin, your maiden name. Simmons. Your sister was on in the chat earlier this week. She says, "Hey, boo." What's new? Something nice? What are you up to? I gotta get out of this house eventually. I can't believe it's like 5 o'clock right now. I gotta get to my parents' house and see my mom. Okay, I'm switching brushes. I'm gonna see if I can get a different brush. That one's getting all flimsy on me. Let's see. What else? You said Meredith should be here every day. What else is she doing? Hear that, Meredith? You're welcome to be my sidekick. The only problem is I go on at random times. Like yesterday, 2 days ago, I said that yesterday I would be on in the late evening, and I ended up going on like around noon because my schedule is that unpredictable. I have a size 1 brush and a size 4 brush. That's too big and too small for my liking. Here's a size 0. Here's an empty tube. Rip off. I need to get me some brushes. Well, let's see. You said you are working in the studio. Thanks for the entertainment. Ain't no thing, little missy. Look at this. Ink the Book Show mug. Lefty. Why didn't I just make a design with it on both sides? That seems reasonable. That's what I should have done. Anyway. I think it would have taken 12 more seconds to put together, so I didn't do it. That one's definitely too flimsy. This one. Let's give it a whirl. Ow! My face! I wanged my face on the camera. See, this one shouldn't be giving me issues. That's the thing. The last one I stopped using was like losing bristles after a while every day. So it was getting really weak. I think that's this one. Unless they just got mixed up on my desk. Maybe this is the good one. It's working out so far. So I posted a drawing today of a guy holding a gun. Am I still going to get a Reggie sticker? Yes. I'll do that. Maybe tomorrow I'll try and put together some new designs. I might have time tomorrow. I thought I was going to have... I thought I would have done this page today already. But I didn't. I woke up early, then I fell back asleep and slept in. Like a jerk. I said happy birthday to my mom, and then I fell back asleep. I didn't even think I was still tired. I was about to come springing out of bed, and then I fell back asleep. And then, what? I've been reading. I read a chapter or a section of Jordan Peterson's Beyond Order, which is really good so far. I am liking it a lot. And then I read a section of Scaling the Secular City by J.P. Moreland, which I am also really liking. And then I read... So yesterday I read Psalm 107. But I don't think that's where I was. I think I was... the Bible I'm using has 2 different bookmarks, and I think I went to the wrong one. Both in Psalms right now. So today I read 43, 44, and 45. And then I was listening to some talk about those 3. Because that's all I care about right now. Just reading and learning and thinking about myself and the world. Even if I don't know what to do with the information. But yeah, Cat wants a Reggie sticker. Were we talking about that on here? No, we were texting about that the other day. Reggie is he's like my frogman circus freak character that I want to do something with someday. And Cat really likes him. Particularly this one drawing of him that she wants a sticker of. Today and tomorrow, I really need to get myself to start thumbnailing pages for the scene I'm rewriting, which I'm still working on writing it. But I've got 5 pages into that. Oh, Cat says, tell Mom happy birthday. Will do. But I gotta get moving on getting these additional pages done. And I thought it was going to be about 10 pages. It's going to be more, I'm certain of it. Because I'm fixing up a section of the book and kind of adding to it. And I don't know, but it's coming up. Like, it's getting closer to the point where I have to start inking those pages. Because I'm inking them in order, which I don't necessarily have to do, but that's my goal in the back of my head for no grand important reason, I suppose. But I'd like to have them ready by the time I have to start inking them, which is in like less than 10 pages. I should start drawing those. Oops. And here's that. It's the shadow under his collar. Under his collar. Here's his cuff of his shirt, and the cuff of his jacket. When I read lately, I always read out loud. I think the idea was that maybe it helps me pay attention or something better. But also, it's made me not that I ever really had much of a terrible time reading or anything, but I think it's made me a stronger reader. Like, I can read. I don't know. I get tongue-tied and tripped up talking a lot real easily. And when I started, I think it was about the time I started doing these live streams, I started reading everything out loud. I think it's made me a better talker a little bit. I think it's helped make me a better talker, in addition to just doing live streams every day. Let's see, what am I trying to do? But I can also read out loud faster than I've ever been able to, and more competently. Oops, let me pull this down a tad. So we got my mom. I'm gonna get her other stuff before I head over there. After I finish this page, I always get her flowers or a plant. Just whatever looks most beautiful when I'm looking. And then usually get her other stuff. I might get her paints or something. She likes to oil paint. And she just likes to craft, just do, like, make things sometimes. But my siblings and I all chipped in to get her this new patio set. It's like nice. I think it's wicker, but it looks really nice. I might not even have seen the one that they settled on getting, actually. But I think it's going to be pretty beautiful. That's my sister-in-law's idea, too. It was a good one. And it's funny, I saw a picture of my mom when she was a kid recently. I think she was with a bunch of people posing for a picture. And I said, "Mom, are you that Anne Frank looking girl over there?" I was right. But then I realized more than looking like Anne Frank, she looks just like me. Which is weird to me. But there was a time years ago when I was a kid, and I found this picture of a kid that looked just like me, about my same age. I thought it was a picture of me. The problem was that in this picture of me, I was wearing a dress and kneeling on a on a on a porch. I was wearing a communion dress, and like, I turned to my brother and I was like, I don't remember doing this. I was like so freaked out and scared. I was like, I don't remember doing this. Like if I put on a dress and posed for a picture, that'd be one thing. The thing that creeped me out most was that I didn't remember it. And I was really freaked out. And I was like, "Mom, do you know what's going on here? I don't remember doing this." And she's like, "Oh, that's my first communion. I in Ireland, I was wearing my communion dress and blah blah blah." I was like, "Oh, I thought it was me." Let me see. I might be able to find that picture real quick if I look for it. Or not that picture, but the picture of my mom. The other picture with my mom is a little girl that I saw recently. Though it might be cooler if I found that picture. Let's see. I'm not going to look too long. Because I don't really know how far back I would have to go in our family group text. Let's see here. Oh, just found it. She kind of looks like me and a couple of my sisters. There's my mom. Looking like Anne Frank. Sort of. And here's my Aunt Maureen. That's my godmother. She just had a birthday too this past week or so. It's real blurry. That's my grandparents up there. My grandma Sheila and my grandpa Dan. I wear his wedding ring. I'm sure I have lots of aunts and uncles in this picture. This picture is probably 90% my aunts and uncles. No. My mom is one of 7. I'm one of 7. My dad is one of 6, and then his mom remarried someone who had 7, kind of like the Brady Bunch, only they were serious about it. When the Brady Bunch came on, they would just roll their eyes. Yeah, there were 13 kids living in my dad's house for a chunk of time. All 13 kids were living there for a bit. I'm not sure how long that lasted before people started moving out. But that sounds too fun. The remote fights, standing in line for the bathroom. Good times. Where am I? Merry Christmas. Okay. Sharing bunk beds. Sharing rooms with siblings. Hand-me-down clothes. Sitting on each other's laps and in the car. If I thought we had it bad at any point, Key Ripes. It's funny because I me and my siblings probably did complain about stuff like that when we were growing up. And I know my dad never said anything in response like, you think you had it bad? We did it with black and white TV. And twice as many kids. And no remote. We had to turn the dial on the TV. Man, my dad's old. He's 61 this year. Last month he turned 61. Saying he's old. I wasn't saying that when he was in the hospital for his heart. Right after his birthday? Yeah. I was like, he's too young. Boris looks like he's holding a child here. These are the noises brush strokes make in my head. Pow, pow. Yeah. What the hell is the matter with me? Okay. I think Cat likes my sound effects. Moisey. A new Michael Winslow for a new generation. Oh, dude, I don't know why. I think I saw somebody retweet him a while back, and I was checking out his Twitter page. I don't know why I didn't give him a follow, but he's just on there posting videos of him doing sound effects, promoting gigs and stuff, and he's still around doing that stuff. That's his whole gig. And it is entertaining. I forget what I saw on there at this point. I know I talked about it on here, but he is something else. He's amazing. Thumb, forefinger, extraneous finger. No. Third finger. I don't know. Well, I don't know what you call it on a guy who only has 3 fingers. Let's see. And he's got Butte on his shirt because it looks like butt. That's the joke. A joke that I explain in this script, like I made up a reason for him wearing a Butte shirt, though, in this story that previously didn't exist. I just would draw him wearing that shirt. Okay, here's some smoke. This room is filled with smoke because Denton Crux started a fire earlier when he threw something down to the ground. Let's see. Okay. To the table. Oh, his hind ear. Uh-huh. Okay, and then this face is in shadow. Because I said so. I actually don't think it should be. Technically. There's all this light emanating from over here. Well, I'm an idiot. No, just kidding. Sometimes I side with design over the facts. Does that make sense? Sometimes visually it might work better than it works logically. Not that I'm saying I have designed the ultimate panel here. If I designed the ultimate panel, by the way, it would satisfy both design and logic. So let that be said. But sometimes I'll let myself sacrifice one for the other. Usually if I'm going to sacrifice one, it'd be logic. And a hole should not have a shadow. That doesn't make any sense. But I have to kind of place it in the room, otherwise it might not be clear its relationship between to these two characters. So I will give this hole a shadow just to kind of place it in the room. For lack of a better idea, really. Speaking of lack of a better idea, that horizon line is way higher over there than this one. I did not realize that. I could have sworn I made it more even than that. Okay. We'll do that. One panel out of my life forever. So I think. All right. Now here comes Bonehead rocketing out of his own eye socket. All these things and more can be found in the Bonehead comic. And look, here he's like, his head is coming out of his eye socket, and he's like, ow, 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 ow. I saw a friend of mine got his Bonehead t-shirt today from the TeePublic shop. they're out there if people care to get them. I put the link in the description of the YouTube video and the Twitch video every day. The Twitch one, it doesn't go in. I'm not able to put it in until after the broadcast ends. But that's where you'll find my links to the Bonehead cartoon, my Twitter, my Instagram, my Discord. I have a Discord. I just posted a couple things on there today. I have a TeePublic shop. And that's also where I'm going to put the design with Reggie the Circus Freak Show Frogman for Cat in the chat. Because she needs a Reggie Frogman t-shirt. Or sticker, rather. I like my character Reggie. In my head, he has a New York accent. That's a story I want to tell eventually, make a comic of or a cartoon of. This kid, well, I shouldn't talk about it too much probably, but this kid runs away to join the circus. It's the premise. It's the basic gist of the story. Because he wants to be with his idol, who is the ringleader of the circus. The ringmaster? Yeah. And Reggie becomes like his best friend, kind of brother figure at the circus. I'm not drawing on the stupid screen. What a dunderhead. I should be shot from a cannon into the sun. You would probably wear a t-shirt of that guitar playing skeleton. I gotta put that up there. Yeah, that's a good one. I think I have that image readily available too. More or less to make a design of it. Yeah. That's a good suggestion. Yeah. Stay tuned to the shop for guitar playing skeleton shirt. My banner on that shop and some other places like I think I use it somewhere else as a banner, maybe my Instagram or my Twitter or something. There's this like giant horrific monster, this giant horrific pink monster with like cylinders coming out of its gaping hole eye sockets. It's got these big horns. I want to do something with that too, I think. I think the first time I used that as thumbnail art, I called the episode Some Kind of Dog. I I usually pick the artwork that I want to use for the thumbnail art, and then I stare at it until a title comes to me. That's how I make my titles. What is this one called? Everywhere Murderers. And the artwork, the thumbnail artwork is this this nervous looking little triceratops boy wearing a backpack, probably walking home from school. Just thinking about everywhere murderers. And I recycle the same art all the time. So because I'm going from I'm using artwork from like 2 or 3 sketchbooks from a long time ago. I gotta get some new art in the mix. But in any case, I always come up with new titles for the same artwork. But I have been trying to like mix it up and do different things with the artwork lately, like add effects to it here or there. I actually didn't do that today. I just posted it as is. My ink kind of just got away from me there. I don't even know what happened. But yeah, I've been going over them with brushes and editing the art a little bit here and there, instead of just posting it as is for the most part anyway, the past week or so, 2 weeks. I'll clean that up in a sec when it dries. Now I don't know which brush I grabbed. Oh yeah, I do. Not that one. That's good. That'll do. I waited long enough. You said, but he's pretty tiny. Gotta scan that boy at high DPI. What, the Reggie one? He would be so cute. Tiny on a pocket tee, though, too. That's one thing I don't like about TeePublic as much, is they're a little more rigid in the design flexibility, but I've just seen a lot of people use them. One thing I do like is that they seem to have a lot of sales pretty frequently, so it doesn't cost an arm and a leg to get a mug. Because I think the mug that I have of the rooster, it's got like it's a two-tone mug, like where it's yellow on the inside and it's got the picture wrapped around it and it says morning can wait. The one I got from somewhere else, but it cost like, I think it would cost me like $25 or something to get to somebody. And I don't like being that expensive about it. Like $25 or more, I think, is what it was. So the thing I like about TeePublic is like, and you know, they're a little limited. Like, this is an 11-ounce mug, and they don't have any other sizes on TeePublic. And I don't like little mugs. I like mugs that last forever. Oh, you were talking about the skeleton. He's like 2 inches. That's a bigger one. I'd say that's probably like 4 or 5 inches wide on the sketchbook. I think. Um, it's been an hour already? What the hell am I doing? I'm only on the second of 9 panels. I should be shot from a cannon into the sun. Okay. There's Bonehead. I have no idea if I drew that on screen or not, with apologies. Let's see. Ow, 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 ow. This is he. Dang it. Look at me. Never on the screen. Why stream? Why stream? If I'm not going to be on the screen. I think I'm going to put his eyebrow more this way because he's coming out of his own eye socket and his head's all skewed. Ow. It's like a character once said on Johnny Bravo. Ow, my eye. Dang it. I also, when I was putting together the thumbnail and kind of setting up the show today, I was listening to Doug TenNapel, the comic book artist Doug TenNapel, who created Earthworm Jim and The Neverhood and Nickelodeon's Cat Scratch and VeggieTales in the House on Netflix. He was the showrunner on that. I was listening to his Friday Morning Fiasco show on Locals, and he just went on some mission trip in Georgia where he was putting together houses for like people who needed their houses rebuilt or something, and he just sounded like it depressed him pretty, something bad, like just like all the help he and the people on the mission trip like couldn't give this community who were like probably on drugs and all messed up. But that was a good little morning show that they did this morning. And I just follow him for free on there right now on Locals. The other guy I follow on Locals, I only follow the two people on Locals, is Brian Shearer. And this wasn't even on Locals, but he put up a tip on Instagram or something recently about refilling Prismacolor markers with isopropyl alcohol, and I've been using and throwing out Prismacolor markers for since I want to say 2003, 2002. Yeah, 2001, 2002. So 20 years I've been using and throwing out Prismacolor markers professionally and not so professionally. Didn't ever once really consider that you could refill them. But I did like when I heard that, I started my show by doing a demonstration. This was 2 days ago. I did a demonstration trying to figure out how to do it, to figure out if I could do it, and it seemed like it worked. So I pulled the nib out on the fine point side of one of my favorite markers that was kind of burned out. And I used a hollowed out mechanical pencil like this. Like I took out I watched a tutorial how to do it. Brian Shearer just kind of brought my attention to the fact that it could be done. And this one girl, she had taken out the eraser and all the ink out of one of these. I just used one that like had run out that was still sitting in my desk. I just you just kind of use the shell of the pencil, um, so it goes straight through, and then I kind of use that as a funnel into the hole of the you can pluck out this tip, and there's this like long thing you're pulling out of the pen tip, and then there's a hole there, and I just kind of used the tip of this to kind of be a funnel. And I did this over like a drinking glass, so I didn't spill all over my table. But then I kind of funneled it into this end, and you can watch me do this like 2 shows ago. I kind of funneled it into here and just poured 70% isopropyl alcohol, because I guess what happens a lot of the times is the alcohol in the marker evaporates quicker than the ink runs out. So if you pour some rubbing alcohol or some isopropyl alcohol in there, it re-wets the ink and is usable for a bit longer than it otherwise would be. So that's probably going to save me a lot of money on markers, especially because 16-ounce bottle of isopropyl alcohol is about it's less than $2. It's like $1.30 or something. And I probably barely poured anything into it. And I let it sit for the duration of the show, because at first it didn't seem like it was doing anything, but I let it sit for the duration of the show. And then at the end, after I inked the page for that day, I tried it again, and it did seem like it was a bit stronger. It did seem notably stronger to me. So that's exciting. There might be proper tools. I think the girl that I watched, I think she was saying that there is a proper tool. I think she even showed it on the screen to refill markers like that. Though I thought they only had those for Copic brand, but I don't know. It might have been a Copic brand one that you can use on Prisma anyway. I've just never used that stuff. Because I know Copic, they actually have different colored refills for different markers. I'm just not. I haven't worked under that hood yet. I haven't used those tools, Copic markers, or any of their stuff. That might even be one of the videos that has gotten no views on YouTube. So I encourage people, after this stream is over, click around across the videos that are available. If you like my comic, if you like my content, if you like the droning, nasally sound of my insipid voice, click another video. Tell your best friends, your worst enemies, that I'm here for all their nasally, droning, insipid art needs. Oh, Cat's out of here. She's had enough of my nasally, droning voice. Bye, bye, Cat. Love you. Have a good day. I should put her link in the description as well today, because she has a shop where she sells jewelry and stuff, accessories, things she makes. She uses like vintage designs and makes really cool laser cut, like little accessories and things. I haven't put her link in the description in a long time. I used to always have it there. So if once the show gets posted, or once the broadcast ends, I'll pull up her link and toss it in there. I've known Kat for about 20 years. And she has had her Etsy shop for about maybe more than 15 years. I think 16 years. That she's been selling stuff like that. She's pretty awesome. She's been following through on her art like way longer than any, like she knew what to do with her art and how to market it, and she knew what she wanted to do as an artist for longer than any other artist I've known. Like, I knew I wanted to be a cartoonist of some sort, and stuff like that. I knew I wanted to do animation and comics and stuff for a long time, but I didn't know like how to make that a reality by any means. And it kind of stopped me in my tracks for many, 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 many years. And I think me and my friends, we didn't get what she was trying to do, but she definitely got what she was trying to do, and just made a thing of it. Like while she was still in high school, I think, like before we even graduated. It's pretty admirable and amazing to me. Here he's finally popped out his eye. Yeah, me and Kat worked together in the art department. I mean, that is to say, we were in the art department in our high school. We had like an honors art program that we were both part of in high school. And yeah, it was just kind of this big, for the most part, it seemed like this big free 2-hour art frenzy every day where we could kind of just work on whatever we wanted is my recollection of it. I don't have a lot to show from those days. I remember I made a blue canary night light holder, so you could plug like a little tea light into it and plug it into the wall, and you'd have a blue canary night light, and it was stained glass. And I made that in the art department in high school. And before I ever could take it home, it got stolen right out of the. I think right out of the display case, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't really know whatever happened to it, but it was They Might Be Giants inspired, the Blue Canary Nightlight. I think I had told he wasn't even the Academy art teacher. He wasn't even the honors art teacher. But I remember telling this one teacher that I didn't know what to make, and he said, "Do you have a favorite band?" I was like, "I like They Might Be Giants." He's like, "Do they have like a logo or something?" I was like, "I don't know." Like, I think, but it gave me the inspiration to make a Blue Canary nightlight. And I made it out of stained glass. I didn't even make it in the art department, come to think of it. I made it at my aunt's house, but it was for the class. But my aunt had like a soldering gun and like all the equipment to make stained glass pieces. And I took all this wire and made it. Let me see. I think I took all these broken stained glass pieces and arranged them into like a bird, a canary shaped bird. And then soldered all this wire around it. That was one of my favorite pieces I think I made for that class. I remember I was sculpting toward the end of high school. I was sculpting my character Sid. I'm surprised you didn't think that I had these characters back then. But I might have made up these kids in middle school. No, I don't think it was in middle school. But I was making a 3D sculpture of him out of like insulation board, those big pink insulation boards. I think I had started his head and I'd started his body. I didn't get it finished though. It was taking forever. Also, I think at that point we were screwing around a lot in that class, but it was like all 4 grades were kind of in the same big art room together for 2 hours. We were all the honors students. And I mean, we were kind of segmented into our own grades, but we would mingle a lot and hang out and just shoot the breeze. But it was fun. And most of my best friends to this day are my friends from the honors art program in high school. We've been to Vegas together. I've gone to their weddings. Stranger Things parties. Oh, I went to Ozfest with my friend Mila. And then I went to Sounds of the Underground the week after at the same venue. But it was like the middle of the summer for both those days. I think it was just, especially Sounds of the Underground, we were so exhausted. People were passing out at the show. And we were driving home that night after spending all day in the sun and watching Guar and stuff. And we were driving home. Well, my friend Milo was driving. And, I fell asleep in the passenger seat. And then she fell asleep in the driver's seat. And we went off the road. And like woke up like driving through the grassy medium kind of thing, or median kind of thing. Thank God. No, that was freaky, but it's a fun story. So I've seen Ozzy Osbourne perform. I think that was one of the last times he did Ozfest. I think it was supposed to be the last time he did Ozfest, and then he didn't for a couple of years. I think, and then changed his mind and started going again for a little bit, if I recall. Got to see. I know I saw Dragon Force, and I saw a System of a Down, and I feel like I knew. It seemed like I knew every song that they performed at that show, even though I didn't have every one of their albums at the time. I only have, even now, I think I only have 2 of their albums. I saw. I think I saw Disturbed. Yeah. I think I got something signed by Disturbed. I think I bought an EP or an album or something from them and got it signed. I am almost 2/3 done with this page. Then I gotta run around town for my mom's birthday. It's her birthday today. She's a whopping 59. I'll say it again, louder. 59. She's gonna strangle me. I'm gonna hear about it the second I see her. She's gonna be like, "You said what on Facebook?" Because I stream it to Facebook too. Like, everybody knows you're at least, like, probably at least 16 years older than 34, right? They probably generally figure that you're about 24 years older than me. Also, it tells everybody. I had to look at Facebook to figure out if she was 59 or 60. So at least I'm not saying she's 60. Dang it. Just trying to leave a little white Daffy Duck line there. There. Good enough. This is the way we ink the book. Ink the book. Ink the book. This is the way we ink the book. Every bloody day. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I wrote that myself. No help from anyone. Didn't have to look over Francis Scott Key's shoulder or anything. I don't know who wrote. What is that? Pop Goes the Weasel? What was I doing? It was probably Francis Scott Key, right? He wrote that. No, you idiot. Francis Scott Key wrote the Monsters theme. Francis Scott Key. Okay, I just want to make sure I was using the right name and not some made-up name. I believe what he actually wrote was America the Beautiful. Pretty sure that was the actual song that he's famous for. I could have probably found that out if I looked at my phone a little closer when I was making sure I was using the right name. Pretty sure it would have said that in the next couple words. Okay, now here's his little head turn effect. I'm gonna make this a bit straighter than that. I need to get me a new cup of tea soon. Here, I'm gonna set this down for a second and hit the button to heat up more water. The brush moves on its own. I almost dunked this brush into my mug. Instead of the little bottle cap inkwell I've got. That's another shirt I should make, is one that says drink ink. Drink ink. There were a couple I was talking about making before, but I don't remember what the one was. Like I was saying, I should make a measure once, cut twice shirt. And then there's something else I said that day that I thought would be a good shirt. Drink ink would be good too. Drink ink. I want it. I gotta come up with a good image or something for that. I'm sure I've ingested a handful of ink in the past few years. A handful of ink. I stick the tip of my brush in my mouth a lot when I'm trying to straighten out the bristles. Usually when it doesn't have ink on it. Like when I'm trying to like form a point out of the bristles. I kind of wet it with my mouth. You know, you also, when you have a cup of tea sitting in front of you all the time and then you start doing ink washes or watercolor drawings, sometimes you'll stick your brush into the wrong cup. And also when I'm cleaning my brush, a lot of times I try to suck ink out of the little reservoir here. Because sometimes ink starts to get trapped in there. And when it hardens up, it makes it hard to get a good point out of your brush. So I try to suck it out. So I'm sure I've ingested something. I know I've caught myself in the mirror with ink all over my mouth. Like, oh no. Wasn't I just at the grocery store? Looking like that? Um, let's see. Let's get Billy's hat in here. Lest it get overlooked. Um, so he's kind of spitting as he's yelling. I think I'm gonna raise this a bit. The line of his back. Dang it. Need more ink. Okay. I also need more tea. Let me go get that tea in a second here. Okay, I have a tea bag ready out there. I'll be right back. A bigger mug for a bigger thirst. He's working on his eyes. Okay. This arm's coming in front of his hand here, so then he's gonna have these like Popeye forearms. Okay, this pocket is actually going to be turning this way because I changed the angle of his back. So he's leaning kind of like this. And hey, ma'am, I'm President Kennedy. I think that's Homer Simpson in The Simpsons when he was a kid. Okay. Oh, mama. We're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 panels down. 1, 2, 3, 4 to go. You can't handle the truth. That's not something Kennedy ever said in his life. Again, I think I'm mixing up history with The Simpsons. I'm not sure, but it's been known to happen. Ay, caramba! Too many dang ink on my brush. I didn't know what I was saying until I thought about it for a second. Realized what I meant to be saying. Too much ink on my brush. Okay. So a friend of mine on Twitter yesterday was saying, I've heard her say something like this a couple times, where I think she's making the same point I'm making, and I was just trying to respond to it. I hope I didn't offend her with my response, though I feel like I might have. Her and other people and artists, I hear say every once in a while, like, I could make more money if I just did this. I could make more money if I drew furries. She said something like that. And she was just pointing out the fact that, like, boy, life would be so easy if I only drew furries, right? And I said something like, I would rather be a plumber. I'd rather become a plumber and draw mud monsters every day for free for the rest of my life than draw what I thought would be profitable and popular necessarily. I've left, like, I stopped pursuing art jobs because I don't want to draw things that I don't want to draw. I don't really do commissions or anything. I haven't. I Not that I'm like totally closed minded to it, but it's like I'd rather just draw my idea. I think it's a better use of my time to draw my idea than to draw somebody else's idea. I think it's better for me. It might even be better for everyone else if I just draw my stuff and not draw furries or porn or something, you know. And I'm not saying everything you draw for money is akin to this, but at some point, if you're drawing something that goes against, I don't know, like, I don't want to be a whore, and I don't want to compromise my, like, I wouldn't draw porn for somebody, and I don't know, like, I don't need money to draw. It always comes back to in my head. It's like, and what I've found is going to make me happier is just drawing what I like. So if I can make myself draw my stuff every day, it will, I was pursuing art jobs and just being really unhappy looking for art jobs or finding something that I thought I might be interested in doing in the art field. And then I would get a job that was, seemed rewarding at first. But then I realized I wasn't quite happy doing that either. It wasn't fulfilling to me. Maybe it would be for other people. Like, I was teaching art for a year and a half, teaching animation to kids, which was really fun at times. But at the end of the day, it's like I would rather be plumbing than and making some real money to pay the bills and not sapping my creative energy on stuff that isn't fulfilling to me. Like, it wasn't fulfilling what I really needed out of my creativity, which was to make, like, do my character stuff. This is what I like to do. I don't know. But it's like, it's like it was like a compromise without me realizing it. It's like, oh, you want to draw for a living. Well, here, draw. Day after day. You can draw. But it's like I wasn't drawing what I wanted to draw. Meanwhile, at the same time, I was going home after working 2 jobs, a creative one and a non-creative one, simultaneously. And then I'd get home and I would draw something. I made a point to draw something in my sketchbook every day. And I realized that that was what I wanted to pursue, not a career in it necessarily, but I just wanted to get myself drawing reliably and working on my own personal projects. I realized I didn't even need money to, I didn't need to get paid for it to be happy. It was just like once I started seeing progress, and like that's when I was making the Bonehead cartoon in my free time too. I was doing that with 2 jobs, and I realized how happy I was working on my Bonehead cartoon day in and day out, and getting all this stuff, getting all these sketchbooks filled up in my free time too. And I realized that's what I really wanted. And if I was going to get paid for art, I'd rather it be that. But I wasn't. So when I stopped hearing from that boss, like they stopped calling me back for seasons all of a sudden. I think she moved to Korea or something. I'm not really sure. But when I stopped hearing back from her, I was like, all right, I'm just going to lean into my personal projects and then work my non-creative day job. And see if I can be happy making, just like balancing those two. And after a while, it seemed that I could. So I tell you, I don't need to make money at art to be happy doing art. I just need to be doing something that I enjoy every day. I just need to make time for art I enjoy every day. And this is my happy place. I also really had to work at disciplining myself to get myself to draw every day. Even though it was what I liked to do and it was my favorite thing to do, I really had to beat myself into submission of chaining myself to the art table every day. That was an uphill battle because I'm naturally very lazy and don't want to do things. And I'm still very lazy and cannot be coaxed to come to the art table for hours at a time. But I really try to religiously make myself do it. And I'm always like, now that I'm doing it, I don't want to go back to bed or something. You know what I mean? I don't want to be on my phone. Doing nothing, staring into space. And this is more fulfilling. But it's like you don't want to do the fulfilling thing when you're lazy. You want to do the easy thing. Daydream in bed. or stare at your phone. But I had to get myself into the habit of working every day at this. And once I did, a lot of what I didn't realize at the time was like depression. I didn't realize I had like all this like underlying depression in me that kind of vanished like immediately upon starting to do this every day. And yeah. So I decided I will. The idea was I wanted to make a project every year. Now, that first project, the Bonehead cartoon, took me closer to 2 years. I think this is going to take me closer to 2 years as well. It's been I think it's I think it's been over a year that I've been inking it for almost a year. I wrote it and penciled it in I don't know how much time. I don't remember. But then to color it, it's going to take some time. Some other substantial amount of time. But the idea is I'm just going to keep working on personal projects. And it'll be good for me. And it'll be enough. And if they never see the light of day, now I would love for people to buy books from me someday when I have books available. Or I would love for people to buy, like toys and stickers and mugs and t-shirts from me. Just because I think that'd be really cool to be like producing the kind of stuff that I like and other people like. When I produce that stuff, that would be very rewarding, I think. But just making them for my own self is like I mean, here I am showing you all my pages. Like, if you enjoy them, I'm very happy about that. But I don't need to make money off these streams to be happy, I think is what I'm trying to say. Like this book, I mean, I don't know yet. This book may never see the light of day. It may never earn me a single cent. It may be a terrible book. I don't even know that yet for sure. That it's even good. But it's fulfilling to accomplish something. I'm finding. To just accomplish something. Frankly, I like seeing my stuff in tangible, like this stuff in tangible forms. I got those t-shirts, and it's just really cool to see something like official looking that I put together. And even some of these pages, I look at them and I'm like, wow, I made that. Look, that's my character Bonehead, and he looks like he's part of a real book. That's cool. It's taken away this like fraud complex I kind of had. It was like, I'm an artist who doesn't draw. I'm an artist who doesn't know how to make anything. And now I feel like I'm making things. And that's rewarding to me. Speaking of artists, there's this local art show that a guy I know is in. It's like a tiki art show. Tomorrow's the last day. I've been meaning to go to it and keep forgetting, but tomorrow's the last day, so I got to get out to it tomorrow. I've seen some of the pieces online early on, and it's pretty cool. I like tiki stuff. So tomorrow's the last day. I am going to it. That sounded like a weird thing to say out of context. Tomorrow is the last day, so I am making it a point to go to it. How about that? That sounds a little better. In the wrong context, that sounded like I am sick of going to it. I'm done after tomorrow, which isn't what I was saying. But you knew that. Mr. Shivers. Um, and there's this little halo kind of thing. Hi. Gulp. There we are. 2 more panels left on this page. His head looks kind of small. I was trying to make it a little bigger on this panel without losing the gist of the expression. Okay. Shoulder. It's like a shirt shoulder strap. I saw that Betty Boo. So there's this English artist, Betty Boo, from the '90s, who's putting out her first album in 30 years. I discovered her when I bought a. I discovered her music when I bought a cassette tape at a thrift store one day, like 10, 12 years ago. And I loved it. It's called Grr, it's Betty Boo. Well, she's putting out her first album in 30 years called Boomerang. And I did a pre-order of it where I ordered a bundle that has a cassette, a vinyl, and a CD version of it. Just because I swore that, like, she put out a single a while back. I said, when she puts out an album, I am going to support her. So, like, I am going to support her for sure. And so I bought this bundle, and it also came with a sampler CD that I guess is on its way. Now she's put out 5 singles already. I think it's 5 at this point. On Spotify, they're available. My current favorite is the track Boomerang, the title track Boomerang. If you'd care to check it out, it is available on Spotify. Probably. Oh yeah, I saw today that on YouTube, she just put out a lyric music video for the song Boomerang. So that just came out today, and that's my current favorite single. But I also like the first 2 that she put out called "Get Me to the Weekend" and "Shining Star." She at least put out one other one since Boomerang, and I forget what it's called. I think some guy sings on it with her, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. It's the newest thing, so it's the most fresh one to me. And I think she's supposed to put out one more, if she hasn't already, single to this album. And Yeah. I think either that's all the stuff that's on the sample CD that I'm supposed to be getting soon. Some people are getting it already. But I feel like I thought she said something about additional tracks being like remixes and stuff of those songs or something also being on there. And she's kind of hip hoppy. She's kind of I liked her right away on Gura. It's Betty Boo because she kind of reminded me of a female soul coughing in a way. In a way, it wasn't. It's not quite soul coughing, but it reminded me enough of that kind of like. It's like, mm, I don't know. It was just kind of almost rappy without quite being rappy, and this part dark actually, not the other part. His little tiny eyes are hard to ink sometimes. Woof. Nope. It's weird that when I swallow tea, about 30% of the time, my throat goes gulp. It sounds like my normal speaking voice, but it's coming from deep within. Almost down to one panel. My hand is on fire. But not because of mosquito bites anymore. They're still there. You can still see the mosquito bites all over my stinking hand. I had 30 mosquito bites on this hand and like 4 on my other hand. The other night I was hanging out on my front porch. Well, they're finally not bothering me. They were earlier today a little bit, but they're pretty much gone at this point. Hooray! Oh. Okay. Hold it. Hold it. There we go. I like this image. I hope I don't ruin it. And after this, I'm running, kicking, and screaming out of the house to get my mom some birthday presents, and go say hi to her. Like I said, I already pitched in on a patio set for her, which she knows about. But I like to get her a bunch of other stuff too. Especially since she's not going to get the patio set for I don't know how long. It's not going to show up for a little bit. And I always get her, like I was saying earlier, I always get her like flowers or a plant. Just something beautiful that I can give her. Sometimes it's something that she can replant in her little garden. On her front porch, she has a tree that I gave her one time. It's like a potted tree. I'm liking this page. So this character's name is Boris. He's a rhino security guard. I kind of made him up just for this book. There was never a rhino security guard before this book in the world of Bonehead. But my name's Ryan O'Connor, and everybody always, like when I was a kid, I got called Rhino a lot. Now my nephews all call me Uncle Rhino. So when I was a little kid, I always liked rhinos because I was Rhino. So I decided I wanted a rhino character in the book, just because I wanted to fill this book with things I wanted to draw, things I liked, and I named him Boris because I have a statue of a rhino, like this 2 foot by I don't know. It's probably like 1.5 feet tall, two and a little over 2 feet long statue of a rhino, and it's perched on this like ledge at the top of my kitchen. It kind of fits perfectly in there too. This little nook. And he kind of looks down on my kitchen. When I got him, I named him Boris. Just seemed like a good name for a rhino. I like naming things. That's my thing. And so I named this rhino after that rhino. All right. Here's his glassy alien eyes. What time is it? It's 7:30. Jiminy Christmas. This day really is moving way too fast for me. I hope my mom is enjoying it. I've been watching Seinfeld through for the first time on Netflix, and it's every once in a while it's kind of cool. It's like, wait a minute, is that Jennifer Coolidge? 30 years ago? It is. It's Jennifer Coolidge. 30 years ago. She wasn't even in American Pie yet. Right? She was in American Pie. Um, or Anna Gunn. Skylar on Breaking Bad. I was like, is that Anna Gunn? And it was a young Anna Gunn. I'm like, dang, the people on this show. It's like the obscure ones are always the most exciting. You're like, I know Bryan Cranston's on this show at some point. Yeah, Brad Garrett. It's like every once in a while, somebody you just don't see coming pops up, and you're like, holy smokes, they existed before Pirates of the Caribbean? I don't know. But you know what I mean? There's a guy from a show called Granite Flats that I watched on Netflix a long time ago. He played a detective that was trying to arrest Kramer, I think. That was an exciting one for me. I don't even know that actor's name. But I don't think anybody else has seen Granite Flats. Granite Flats is pretty. I liked it. It's about these kids that are kind of like. Now I'm really straining my brain because I haven't seen it in a billion years, but I probably haven't seen it since like 2011 or something. It's about these kids that they kind of like start trying to solve mysteries or something. They have a clubhouse and stuff, and it kind of gets more serious. I think it starts when they see like a meteor fall from the sky, and it turns out to be some kind of piece of equipment. I don't know. It all ends up being kind of related to like MK Ultra and stuff, and it's like Christopher Lloyd is on it for a little bit. Posey Parker's on it for a little bit. I think there's only 3 seasons, but I really liked it. I'm pretty sure it was really good. And it almost feels like wishbone at first. You know what I mean? It almost feels like it's like kind of crummy family entertainment kind of stuff. I think it was made for some Mormon network is I think something I found out about it. But it's pretty good. I like it. I remember liking it anyway. Like I said, it's been like 11 years since I've seen it, but almost there. Machinery, generic laboratory machinery in the background. I think this wall should be further back. Dang it. Let's look at that machine. I can't trust my past self. I can't trust myself now either. I always keep myself guessing. It is a nice way of saying I'm kind of an art hack. That's why I say, if I can do this, literally anybody should be able to do this. I'm such a doofus that if I can make a comic, any nincompoop putting off making a comic should just dive in and do it today. Start writing it. Do it baby steps. Just make sure you write it. You don't got to write it. You don't got to get your script perfect, but get it good enough that you can work from it reliably. I stopped when I felt like I had a story, even though I felt like the dialogue was a mess. I was like, I can punch out the dialogue till the day the book comes out. So I'm not worried about that, as long as I think the story works. And then I added a bunch of pages anyway, so to flesh out the story. Guys, here it is, page 191. They said it couldn't be done. They said it wouldn't be done. They said I couldn't do it. They didn't believe it could be done. Bonehead, page 191. Hello. It's working. This little scheme of mine. Look at that bed. Ew. Look at that bed head. Ew. I say he should be shot from a cannon into the sun until dead. So anyway, I gotta go celebrate my mom's birthday. I gotta go get her some stuff and go say hi to my mom. Give her a hug. Yeah. So if you want, you can find some link in the description, a link tree linked in the description, where you can find my social media. You can find my Discord, which is a type of social media. You can find a TeePublic shop where I have some designs up there. And with any luck, I'll be adding some designs to tomorrow. You can find the link to my Bonehead cartoon on YouTube. And maybe some other stuff. I don't remember. Anyway, this has been Ink the Book Show. Another thing you could do is click around, click on some other videos. Some other videos need some more loving. So give them a whirl. Next time you're drawing, put one on in the background maybe. Always worked for me. Anyway, you've been great. I love you. You love me. We're a happy family. Goodbye, everybody. I'll be back tomorrow. Peace.